We have some orders to pull today, and all the things that we sold this weekend all was from eBay. You know what wasn't selling? Poshmark items. Let's talk about that as we pull some orders for eBay. Okay, so the first item is a vintage Starburst pony, a My Little Pony in R. So we sold that for $10. I think it's the yellow one right there at the front. Let's just move this onto the ground. It was this one right here. It's actually 3 yellow ponies. Probably not the best way to organize that, just in case I missed the right one. But this is the one that sold. We sold it actually for $10 on eBay, and we're going to get this one ready to ship out today.
My Little Pony, each sold separately. Collect them all.
Next few items is actually video games. One of them is Ape Escape for the PlayStation 1. There it is right there. We got this actually at a thrift store for about $3. Not bad. It was included with a bundle of PlayStation 1s that just came out that day. It was one of those instances where I was at the right place at the right time to actually grab these games. Unbelievable. $3 each. Does have a bit of a crack in the screen there, but the disc and everything else is perfectly fine. And it comes with this manual, and we sold it for $43 on eBay, and we are going to get this one ready to ship out as well today. The Warriors for PlayStation 2 sold as well right here. Yes, we actually got this one on a Facebook Marketplace deal. It was a massive bundle of other PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 3 games, including also a PlayStation 2 system and a PlayStation 3 system. And we got all of that for $100, one of the best Facebook Marketplace deals we've ever had on the channel. Very happy to sell this game for $60 on eBay, and we're going to get this one ready to ship out as well today. We sold a PSP game. It was the God of War. I think it's inside here. Let me just double check, make sure. Yes, it is God of War for the PlayStation Portable right here. So we're going to get this ready to ship out today. I think we sold it for $12 on eBay. And this is one item we actually found at the Good Old Bins. It was laying at the bottom of one of the media bins. I guess people just forgot about it or left it, or they didn't think it was worth anything. But nonetheless, really wasn't worth a ton of money. But still, I'm happy to ship something out that we paid maybe like 25 cents for and sold for $12, so not a bad flip. And we're also going to get this ready to ship out today. And that's it for the video games this weekend. Now back to more toys. We sold a Ewok that we found at the Good Old Bins. This toy right here, it's in a E, and we sold it for $11, so E, which is right over here on the side. And here it is. Not bad. We sold this for $11, I believe, on eBay. It's a little bit heavy, actually. You probably paid maybe like 40 to 50 cents for this in total. Definitely a thicker plastic and thicker material than your typical action figure. But nonetheless, we sold this for $11, and we're going to get this one ready to ship out as well today. And the next item is actually a truck that we got at the Good Old Bins as well. It's a vintage truck from the 80s, and we sold it for, I think it was $8. It was a very, very cheap flip. Nothing too crazy, but it did sell fairly fast. For like a vintage toy. We usually don't sell stuff like this quite a lot on eBay, but nonetheless, we are happy to get this and flip it for $8, considering we spent maybe like 20 cents on this top, so not bad. And we're also going to get this ready to ship out today. Now the next item is wild. It was something we found at the Good Old Bins in one of the media bins. It was a bunch of VHS tapes, but we actually lotted them all together. And so if you find VHS tapes, as long as you can lot them up, you can still sell them. A lot of them don't sell anymore. You know, there was a big boom and bust with the sealed VHS tapes that were getting even graded. Now it's really about, can you find good lots of VHSs, something that's collectible, something that people actually want in their home to maybe even display? And yes, we actually did. We found these Batman the Animated Series VHS tapes right here. All of these in total. We got the Riddler, Two-Face, we got Penguin, Batman, Robin, the Joker, Poison Ivy, and also Batman Fire and Ice, which is a really cool one with the cover with Mr. Freeze there on the front. So not bad. We sold all of these for $74 full price that we listed it for, which is kind of wild. I was in shock when this actually sold, because it's been a while since we sold any sort of VHS item, and also for the actual price that I put it for. I was willing to accept any offers of 50 or above, and then, you know, maybe even make my way lower and lower depending how long it's been up there. But this was up there for less than a month, and it ended up selling for $74. So really happy about that. And we're going to get this item ready to ship out today. Okay, now that we got all of that packed and ready to ship out, I wanted to talk about the main discussion point in this video, which is Poshmark. Poshmark has been horrible for us personally, but not just us. We go to the Good Old Bins at least twice a week, and all the people there who also find clothing, that's literally what they want, is find more than anything else. For us, it's toys. 80 to 90% of the people there mostly hunt for clothing, and they themselves have also said the same thing. And they say they either just have given up on Poshmark completely, or they'll have like one sale a week. For us, we haven't sold anything on Poshmark for over 3 weeks, which is the longest time period we've actually had of not selling anything since we basically started our Poshmark store, which is wild because we have more items now on it than we did obviously when we first started, and a lot of it's like decent stuff. Like half of it I would say is vintage items, vintage clothing items, which is very hot seller in the summertime, it felt like. And then in the winter it definitely kind of died out a bit. I don't know if like a lot of these fashion trends are kind of disappearing now, and that could also lead to some of the reasons why Poshmark is slow for not just us, but a lot of resellers out there. On YouTube, we've been saying the same thing. And if you guys are feeling the same thing, let me know down below in the comment section. I think there's a multitude of reasons why this is happening. One of them is the fact that you have to pretty much use bots at a certain point just to push your listings, get your listings shared. And if you're not using that, I feel like it throttles your algorithm back for your store, so your stuff is not visible as much anymore. I know that they are really pushing the live selling feature, trying to compete with places and platforms like Whatnot, and that's not what Poshmark is. I know they're trying to be like Whatnot, and honestly, this is why I think eBay is still the best selling platform. You might disagree in the comment section, let me know why, because it stays true to its actual real point. It's just a place that you go grab things to sell. You don't have to be a store. You can be a reseller. You can be just someone selling their personal collection. You don't have to be an influencer, which a lot of these platforms are really trying to push. Is like, if you're an influencer, you're popular, you have a lot of followers, you can go on these platforms and sell your items easily. But not everyone's an influencer. You know, most people are just regular, you know, people just doing this part-time, or just regular average Joes who just like to sell things on the side. And honestly, places like Poshmark now, they're kind of really shooting themselves in the foot by pushing these live features. But that's how I feel about it. So I don't know. Leave your thoughts about Poshmark down below and why it's been like so slow lately for yourself maybe. And if honestly, if you're seeing things differently, I would love to hear your point of view down below in the comment section. With that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And remember, may your carts always be full. Before I let you go, I want to let you know that we do have a Patreon page. You guys can support us, help us with our morning run for our coffees when we go to the Goodwill bins, thrift stores, or even garage sales. Would really appreciate the support. And if you guys become a patron, you can hit me up anytime and ask me any questions about reselling, and I'll do my best to answer those. Speaking of answering questions, I also made a Facebook group specifically for Canadian resellers. So if you are a reseller in Canada, definitely check out this group. I'll also leave the link to this group down below in the description along with my Patreon. Anyways, guys, have a fantastic day again, and here's the outro card.